Well, it's another beautiful Saturday morning, and that means one thing: it's time for another yacht tour. And today we've got something really unique, and when I say unique, I mean there is only one of these boats currently in Australia. That's how unique this is. It's the boat behind me, which is a Baia Azzurra 63. These are an absolute speed machine, built in Italy. If you're not too sure about the brand or haven't heard about Baia before, they are all about power. Think Pershing, think ripping along at 60 miles per hour. That's what this boat's all about. So we're going to do the full tour. So let's jump on board and have a look. So let's move around and start the yacht tour. Really interesting history for the builder. They've been building boats since 1961, really just focused on big, powerful, luxury boats like this one. And they take their name from a port town near Naples, which was famous for boat servicing and building and all sorts of things. So that's where the name comes from. But why don't we step on to the swim platform. This will be where your tender sits. It's a pretty big beam, actually, 17 feet, which kind of explains why we have such a big cockpit. I mean, it really is all about the power in this cockpit, which makes it an amazing day boat when we have a look in a little while. But your tender would live here, and then we enter that cockpit up the port side steps here, just a couple up. And the first thing obviously we see is this huge sun pad that faces back. And you can imagine if you were brave enough to be here while we're ripping along at 50 or 60 knots and seeing the huge wash behind us, that'd be something quite spectacular. But as I said, the cockpit is really wide. The full beam of the boat, there are no there's some very, very narrow paths forward to the bow, but really it's the full beam of the boat, and you can see what it's all about. So in front of me we've got a summer galley. I've noticed that a lot of my American viewers like to call these a summer galley, so I'll stick with summer galley this tour for you guys. So if I come around, you'll see we've got a 2-burner electric stove there. Those 2 drawers here, they are refrigeration drawers. That's just for a bit of storage, a sink, etc. So this really is a little entertaining area for you to socialise and be with your guests. And then you've got this very large lounging section here. There's 6 berths on board, so this would easily accommodate 6 people out in this area here. But if you just had people out for the day, I reckon you could get a few more people there. But that'd be a terrific spot, wouldn't it? Under the shade of the hard top above me here, that would be fantastic. The top actually retracts back, so if you do want to have this a little more open to the sun, you can have that. Or if you want it shaded like it is now, you can have that. And then if you choose to, you can jump out onto the sun pad here, which is definitely wide enough for I reckon 3 people, maybe 4 smaller people. But what a great spot that would be at anchor, or if we're moving along, that'd be something terrific. So that's the aft cockpit, really all about entertaining and having a great day out. And then when we move forward, we find the helm. Now the helm is a double bench seat helm, so no captain's chairs if you like. And what you can see here, if I just move around slowly, is a few interesting things. So in front of us here, just along there, we've got 3 sets of thrusters. So one of those is the bow thrusters, but then we've also got the trim and flaps. So this boat is actually fitted with surface drives. So that gives you that spectacular rooster tail spray. And of course, you know, it does that for efficiency reasons and to maximize the speed and reduce the draft. And so the boat does need a bit of trimming to keep the bow down as that power really gets planted down. The captain or the owner we'll be putting those to good use. Chart plotter, navigation, multifunction displays. The engine controls over there. It's fitted with two MAN V12s. We'll talk about those a little later. But there you go. Plenty of analog controls. I think I might have failed to mention at the start. This is a 2005 build boat. Baia actually don't build this particular model anymore. It was one of their more successful models, but that's why it's probably likely to only ever see one of these boats in Australia, so great to get you on board. So there's the helm. There is accommodation. We've been talking about this being a great day boat, but there are actually 3 cabins as well as downstairs galley and dining area. So we'll move down there now. So you could easily come away and spend the weekend. I reckon that would be the best way to use this boat, would be to blast around during the day, maybe find your destination quickly, obviously, and find somewhere great to anchor, and then enjoy yourself for a night or two, because you can definitely do that. Down here, we've got a pretty good size galley. If I just move some of these covers away, you'll see what there is. So you can see there that we've got a little sink there, and then underneath here we've got another 2-burner stove. There's also, oh, if I just pop that back on properly, there we go. There's also a microwave just above me here, like thus. Plenty of storage cabinetry at head height all the way around there. And then importantly, and I think impressively actually, we've got a very good sized refrigerator. So you can see there, that's quite a good size. So yeah, I reckon you could definitely have enough provisions for a couple of nights away on board this boat and be pretty comfortable. And just opposite the galley, we've got an area which would be perfect just for popping down out of the sun, having a bit of a break if you wanted to. But also, as you can see, we've got a couple of ottomans just there, so that could be a place where you could come down and have a meal like that. Okay, so I'll move forward and show you the first of the 3 cabins. It's the owner's cabin, and it's in the bow of the boat. I'll just step across the threshold. It looks like this. So an island double bed. There's 1 step up on either side. I'll just show you like that. There's some storage underneath the bed by way of 2 drawers, just right for your extra bedding, etc. And then, as you've probably spotted, lots of storage that runs around the cabin. And then on both sides we've got a good sized hanging locker as well. Pretty good headroom in here. I'd say probably about 6'2". I'm not 6 foot, so I've got a fair bit of space above me, but that's pretty good. And then this cabin is serviced by an ensuite head like this. So a fair bit of natural light. There's an opening porthole just there with the sink. These striking colours, aren't they? Very bold, typical of Italian boat designers. Make some really bold statements. And then a separate shower stall like this. You can see there's mixer and the head. And the mirror on the back of the door. Terrific. So let's come out of here. The other 2 cabins are essentially mirror images of each other. So the first of the two guest cabins is here. You can see for yourself, it's set up as two singles. There's opening port side window there. Nice size hanging locker. Pretty much the same size as the locker in the owner's cabin, actually. There's access here straight into another ensuite like this. You can see we've got the toilet there, and we've got the sink there. And then this actually has, well, it's more like a wet room. You can see there that we've got the shower head there and the mixer there. And so this, you can close this off and use this very comfortably. I'll close that up. And then on the other side, we've got essentially a cabin which is identical in terms of its layout. You can see there we've got the two singles, a little bit of bedside storage there. All of these, of course, are air conditioned, and again with another hanging locker. And this cabin would use what essentially is the boat's day head. So basin, toilet, and the same shower arrangement there. Close this off like that. And you might have been wondering, and if I come in, I'll give you a better view of this. You may have been wondering what this is. So what this does is this allows you to close off this section and keep the water from splashing around all over the place. So that's pretty cool, actually. It's somewhat of a little compromise in terms of having a separate shower cubicle, but it's a nice little solution. And then this door is accessing into that cabin as well. So really, all three cabins have ensuite heads, and with the one that we were just in serving as the boat's day head. I'm going to swing around now. I did mention at the start of the yacht tour that cockpit really runs the full beam of the boat, and there is access forward but it looks like that. So I'm going to take us forward, and I'm going to be doing my best tippy toeing, and if I end up in the drink, leave a comment, but let's hope I won't. There is a grab rail up here. I'm being a little bit dramatic. It's about a foot wide, I suppose, of course, and on my apologies, it is a little bit windier up here than it was in the cockpit, but I want to walk all the way forward because, one, you get a sense of how big and sleek she is when you have a look, and when you look all the way back, have a look at that for a profile. That's something else, isn't it? Have a look at that. Big, sleek, just built for speed. No apologies about it. That's what this boat's all about. Fantastic. All right, glad I could get up here without falling in the drink and showing you that. I'm going to make my way slowly back down to the cockpit, because in many ways the star of the show with this boat are those engines. That 60 knot performance comes courtesy of this pair of twin MAN V12s, each pumping out about 360 horsepower, and that gives us cruising speeds of, you know, sort of 40, 45 knots at that speed, around 300 nautical mile range, courtesy of those Arneson surface drives. But they're pretty impressive, and these really are the power plant behind this boat. Well, there it is, our yacht tour of the Baia Azzurra 63. What a yacht! 60 knots, 63 feet of absolute raw power, 3 cabins, 3 heads. You'd have an absolute blast if you own this. And the boat actually is for sale. So one brokerage here in Sydney, they're the people to talk to if you want to inquire about owning her. You can do that. I'll put Chris's details in the description. Reach out. And if you love this tour, leave a comment, share it with other people, give it a like, and that really helps the channel grow. But I reckon let's leave it there. Great way to start the weekend. I'll see you next week on another tour. Bye for now.